Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Gwent video, and in today's video, I'm going to be playing a Nature's Gift Squirtle deck. I'm trying to go back to see how some of the previous decks in the, in 9.5 and 9.4 perform in the new environment with the 12 new cards that have been introduced. Obviously, Squirtle received two really strong cards in Saskia and Milva Sharpshooter. I yet to make a deck on them, but I'm kind of not really excited to play them, mainly because I know a lot of people don't like going up against unitless stuff, and I sympathize with them. I completely understand this, but don't worry, in the future I will be playing these cards once I find a deck that doesn't feel so scummy to play against. Or who knows, what if I get frustrated and I say, screw this, I'm going to be the unitless deck. But anyway, so yeah, this deck is pretty bog standard from 9.5. The biggest additions, though, are the bronzes. Some of the bronzes have changed, and that's because some of the one bronze in particular received a small buff. So I just want to try it out. Anyway, Symbiosis. Let's see what we've got. We've got Nature's Gift, obviously, and Tactical Advantage as our stratagem of choice. Ethne, Young Queen, no need to explain, very powerful Symbiosis engine, especially in round 3 with the Veil, and that she becomes Symbiosis herself, so that's 3 Symbiosis engines in round 3. Gezrus, very strong engine as well, especially because you tend to have a lot of units on a row. Gezrus gets you a lot of value. Simless is going to be just a auto-include in most Squirtle decks at this point, such a powerful card. Forest Protector, self-explanatory. Like, a lot of these cards are very self-explanatory, so I don't think I'm going to go through them. So expect this deck introduction to be quite quick. Call the Forest for a tutor. It's a nature card. Ice Cream, tutor, nature card. Fov, tutor for said nature cards. Dunka, another Dryad that can, buff our stuff up, and also has 3 damage, which can be useful for certain reach. Gourd, big finisher. Double Bountiful Harvest. Now, this card received a big nerf. It now creates and plays any bronze Squirtle elf. Just to be clear how many elves there are, right? Card type, bronze. Elf. Unit, color, bronze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me just remove the premiums. Yeah, let's just, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 24 different cards to choose from. 24. This card went from very good to pretty bad. The only reason I'm still running it is because it's still a nature card, which means it synergizes well with Nature's Gift, and it also gives you hand buff. And the thing is, there's still a decent chance you see a unit you might want to run. Now, if you're playing against me, you're definitely going to see, obviously, sorceresses and whispers. But if I'm playing against you, I'm going to see I don't know, I'm going to see Elven Scout, or I'm going to see Saboteur, because, that's how RNG in Gwent works. I can see a reason to replace these with Orb of Insights now. The only reason I prefer this is because it's a nature card, so it synergizes very well with said Nature's Gift, which I think is important. Double Sorceress of Dolbathana, still a fantastic bronze. I think one of the best bronzes that Squirtle has access to. Double Rebuke, Double Hamadryad. New card, Duen, Cannell, Guardian. I don't think you guys know what this does. It is a 4 for 5 Veil Symbiosis, order damage an enemy unit by 2. Now, the reason I'm running this card is because of another bronze, which I'll come to. Double Caress, Double Tempering, a single Dryad Enchantress, and a single Bannon Girl. Now, this is the new card I'm talking about. Well, not new card, the new effect that this card gets. So this card still has the same order, transform into a young Dryad without changing power, but it has a new passive, and gain vitality equal to the number of Dryads on this row. Now, one thing I did test is that if you play this on an empty board and then click it, it does gain 1 vitality, because the card counts itself when the flip happens. So it counts itself as the Dryad and then checks, and it does gain 1 vitality. But that's the reason why. I just want to see how this card feels in a deck. That's why I try to squeeze in a lot of Dryads like Duen, Cannell, Guardians and stuff. Honestly, I think this is the wrong way to go for a nature disc. I just wanted to try them out. I just wanted to see how strong this would be. I think, honestly, it's just better to replace these with Circle of Lives and replace these two with something else. I know, very descriptive, but something else. So you're going to see 3 games in ranked, and you're going to see that this deck does have a weakness. The fact that in the current meta, devotion decks are suffering a little bit. Well, not suffering, but they can be outscaled by some of the new cards introduced into the game. For example, King of Beggars. Oof, that card just kicked my ass in one of the games you're going to see. But hope you guys enjoy this, guys. Again, if you guys want the deck list, this is it right here. And let's just jump into the games. Hope you guys enjoy them. Alright, Uprising Northern Realms. Okay, so just expect this to be standard Witchers. So this deck normally doesn't have the most control, right? Apart from the Griffin Witchers themselves. So we can drop this as a proactive play, which is nice. Ping down the shields of the Adepts and then go from there. On mulligan you, keep you, get rid of the Tempering. Okay. But obviously I don't want to make an assumption this early. Yeah, okay, there's the Immortals.
No faces. No
Can't do anything about that, but that's okay. We're gonna play you.
Illusions.
Buff
Yet to
you.
see what they can accomplish.
So we can kill the Damn Sorceress with a Ping and Rebuke. Unless they pull it with Amphibious Assault. Never mind. Rebuke puts this down to 6, then it goes to 8 after this. So next turn I drop. So this is based on the row. So what I can do is I can drop this next turn. Oh no, never mind. I'm gonna kill this first.
I can see Care Sarah from here.
Kill that. Make sure we can control the students. I think this combo is just gonna happen, unfortunately. There's the Griffin Witcher.
The bomb
Now,
softens them up. The sword finishes them off.
I think we can wait a turn. I'm gonna play this first.
You green horror.
I think it's worth using a Frost Protector for this, I think. Erland Vlavik.
A witcher with no honor is no brother of mine.
So now we click this. This should gain vitality.
I don't remember. I don't care.
Oh, it counts itself as one of them. Okay. Good to know. Kelder has been committed. Wow.
The more you know, the less you wonder like a buffoon.
You gotta dodge. You gotta have the.
Guess I go fog into
Wait, yes, you won't let us talk to strangers.
Last Rebuke. Get that off the board. Why are y'all spawning on the same row, damn it? I think I take my pass. 21 points ahead. Because I do have 1 vitality charge left. So they would need 22 points to go get it. And there it is. There's the pass. Okay, so now to be fair, their long run is pretty strong because of Radivate into Radivate Uprising charges, which I can't stop, by the way. But I also have some decent engines, and they probably will stick. So Symbiosis is nice. Looking for gold. They're not gold. Need my Ethne, Gezrus, Gord, Council, please. Game, come on, game.
No horse, I said. Wanted the exercise, I said.
Wanted the exercise, I said. No horse, I said. You stupid Onwa. Always get a horse. Always. Alright, golds, please. Right, mulligan the Hamandra. No. That's one of them. Wow, this is not a good hand. So I'm guaranteed Gord, at least. Oh, shoot. That is not good. Well, that is not a good sign. Alright, this needs to be ethnic, please. Like, just missing. Just need to make sure I hit Gore. Ethnic, sorry. Ethnic. Oh, thank God.
Fertilize our wood.
May these rotting corpses fertilize our woods. Yo, chill, Ethnic, chill. Target practice. So this time, Vesemir. We don't need to roll stack here.
Earth, choke the embers. Wind, blow out the flame.
That's the second target practice.
Gotta dodge. Gotta have the.
Just put my
Mother Earth, I grant you my life.
Harmony engine, Symbiosis engine on the board. And then next turn I go for Caresses. Or I drop the Sorceress next. Keldar, Vesemir, Witcher Trio, Gwen, Radovid. Those are the cards that they have left. First Lyrian Sight, as a reveal. I'm gonna drop
Time
you.
to sow. Time to die.
Because I can use Tempering to potentially. Nah, I can't kill Radovid. No matter what I do, I can't control Radovid. Probably should have maybe played Simless earlier. Maybe get some control elves and then. Maybe could have done something like that. We'll play Simless next. There's the Vesemir. Alright, Simless.
Why should I, an elf, a sage,
So
converse
this
with
is
an
no
ape?
Bountiful Harvest. So far looking terrible. Wow. Guess I take you.
Admiral and Shay.
Rebuke, huh? At this point, it's just autopilot this deck. This. Well, looks like Radovid is coming down now.
Aye.
There's Radovid himself.
To the dungeon with him.
Oh, that's a lot of points. A lot of
Should have
points.
listened to me, old lady.
I mean, if they're running Yurden, oof, that would
This
suck, wouldn't it?
will be reaping black-clad heads.
Look at that.
My
Holy
spirit's
shit.
willing and how, but
Can't wait till that's fixed.
kill it.
There's a trick, which is real. Last card honestly might be Yurden. Like, I'm not. Please don't be Yurden. Please don't be Yurden. Oh, thank God.
No, I never
Think we win, though.
underwent mutation, but I'm still a witcher, damn it.
Boom.
Cut the
Let's
crap,
go.
but I've got your gob.
Easy 12-point lead. Let's go. Oh, suck it, Radovid. Alright, let's find another game. Okay. Gurn. Fruits of Biscuit, not Gurnikora. Fruits of Biscuit, though it could definitely be Gurnikora, you know. Mulligan you. Mulligan you. Okay. This just might be relics. Maybe selfie to get dropped on the board right now. Or Griffin, okay. Mamuna set up. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
Well done, indeed. How I adore a challenge.
Oh, please don't have predatory dive. That's why I paused. If they have predatory dive, yeah. Ooh. Parasite, okay. That's not a bad trade, honestly.
Mommy, where is you?
Probably should have dropped you first, honestly. Even 1 vitality is not bad. There's a self-eater. Gets buffed by Crystal Veil, obviously. Crystal Skull, which gives fail.
Don't leave me here. Not alone. I beg you.
I beg ya. Will drop Hamadry next? Bob is looking... I want to save Bob, right? But it's potentially a good rebuke, right? Oh. Alright, let's do this.
Illusions. You've yet to see what they can accomplish.
They say you are what you eat.
No, I don't nibble at them. They fall right out.
Do this then.
Choke the embers. Wind, blow out the flame.
Circle of Life is sorry, the Whale is probably the thing I want to do just to control this. So, Caress would also have made sense, but I think controlling that's important.
Once you neither sing nor yell at the dinner table, it's rude.
So how are we controlling Gurnakora? That's my question. How am I controlling? I can control the fruits with duen cannells. Teleportation.
Wouldn't touch your hair on my head, she said.
Respect. 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is... I have a decent amount of points here. I wish I had a Caress in hand. This place has 5 again, plus for 9, then 10. Should probably use a leader charge on this. They're playing, okay.
It's a pity I can never finish.
Wisps comes down the board. So as I said, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 to 44. I have the reach. Maybe play Simless here, honestly.
You are no loser.
Alright, let's play Simless. Alright, play you. And play you.
I foresee victory.
Cool, 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 cool. Actually getting some value from that card. Let me take the lead here, nice. There's Bloody Mistress. Getting 3 points a turn. How much are you playing for? 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. 4 with the passive, so 9, 10, 11. 11 puts, yeah, I have some points here. Take the fall.
Wind whistles, Willow's whip.
Right, it's Caress. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright. We win the round with Witches, Gurnakora out of the picture. And they use Wispus as well. Obviously Mamuna is a thing, but we're just gonna go for the long round. Golds, please. Thank you. Council is showing me Gourd, which is really nice. I'll take the mulligan for the golds. Keep Rebuke in hand, right? Damn. Oh, Okay. The council is showing me Dunka. One of these 4 cards here. I'm looking for Gezras, please. Traveling merchant, what?
Who wants a carrot?
What are you playing? Alright, please game. Come on, RNG gods. Roll the dice, give me this. Give me this. Come on. Yes, finally the Witcher's in my hand. Alright, Rebuke, Dunka, pretty decent looking hand here. Council is giving me Sorceress of Belbathana, which is not bad at all. I think I just keep this hand. I don't have enough nature cards, I just realized. I have all the Symbiosis, but I don't have nature cards. I have to get rid of you. Yeah, Caress is something I want. I have all these nature cards, but not enough. Sorry, all these Symbiosis cards, not enough nature cards, though. Neuromancy, okay. Darn.
Thanks for the offer, but I prefer to clear.
I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Well, not yet anyway. Next turn I can, obviously. Self-eater.
Hearts, livers of golden deliciousness.
May their rotting corpses fertilize our wood.
Okay.
What should I say? It's rude.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna do this. Just control one of them.
I could drown you in a single drop.
So sequencing is Gezras next. Caress, Force Protector Gore. Should be the sequencing, yeah. Lesser Witch, huh? Few points.
There's a great deal to be learned.
And I click you. Rebuke. I will take Rebuke on you. Oh, if they have Igni in hand for whatever reason. Woo! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Brewers, okay, so they have the final rolls in hand. Beavis. Why'd you consume that? You don't have the second one in hand? No bonded effect nonsense. I'm surprised because bonded on this thing is pretty strong. 10 points plus your relics. And thrive. Nothing to scoff at, you know, nothing to scoff at. But yeah, this Gord is playing for 14 points. You're gonna get 2 more from the boost, so 16. Yeah, we have a strong finisher in Gord. She who knows.
Naught can stop me, not even death.
Not even death. Yeah, if I had Heatwave, imagine. Wow. Sure.
Watch and learn.
Definitely see the nerf to Bountiful Harvest. It does suck massively compared to its, 9.5. Holy shit. But I think we're winning this comfortably. Yeah, Mamuna's points though. It is points. It's actually a lot of points. 7, 8,
Hey, my eyes are down
3.
here.
Alright. It's not enough, unfortunately. There we go. It's game number 2. Them playing Bloody Mistress in round 1 was a big mistake. I'm not sure why they thought that was a good idea. Alright, let's find one more game, guys. Alright, Jackpot. Okay.
Your powers of deduction seem to have waned.
Jackpot is very scary. Very scary, right? That Savola King of Beggars combo is nothing to scoff at. Nothing. This can kill Tax Collector, so it's important to keep. Okay. Sewer Raiders, okay. That allows me to set
remind me
up.
of the fjords back home.
Taking out the heat. Would you like an arrow to the head instead?
Arrow to the head instead. I just realized Witcher Season 2 is coming out in 3 days. Oh. Alright. I'm excited for that. I did find the first season enjoyable, though heavily flawed, but yeah, I'm excited for the second season. Of course, Blacksmith.
Deals. Novigrad's built on deals.
Spit it out already. I don't have all day.
I don't have all day. So I think I play Hama Triad next to try to get a caress from this. Bounty.
High time the north was
Could purify that.
Tis my tree. I was
Yeah, I'm gonna
born
purify it,
with
actually.
it. I shall die with it.
Make it awkward for them, you know? With all these, so they see 7 cards, Tax Collector. Okay. Can't kill that.
Z6CV 1265X for that.
Ugh, stop gurgling like that.
But I could making a Vomit, which would be nice. So I'm only willing to commit Simless in this round if I see something
To the fires with them! To the fire!
interesting. Miss it. That's okay. I'm just gonna take the movement here. Yeah, Executioner was coming. Yep.
The job's a job.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Some Bottles comes out as well. Sea Jackal.
If the ring won't come off, just take the whole finger.
Just take the whole finger. Tempering is 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points puts me in the lead. Siggy Reuven in round 1.
Lots of prior experience.
Alright, this is my
Worked with
simplest
idiots
time, you
my
know.
whole life.
Is that the only elf I have? It is the only elf, right? So I can go for council here. I'm just making sure, double checking. Yeah, I think it's the only elf. So
The only good human is a dead human.
I can do this.
Act your age. At 2 centuries, you behave like you were barely one.
7. Do I want to kill anything? I'd like to kill this. We'll take you. And I think I take you. Oh, come on. The row has to be clogged, doesn't it? Oh, no, never mind. I thought this was row lock for some reason.
Watch and learn.
It's not. It's not. I goofed. Cool. Went on even. Nice. Fortunately, didn't get any boosts from Bountiful Harvest, so we actually lost 4 points there, unfortunately. So now my question is, do I ever bleed them? call... I think I want a long round, honestly. But then again, Horson Jr. is a threat. And Dijkstra's still there, right? Dijkstra still exists. You know what? Sorry, not Dijkstra. King of Beggars, Savola. Don't miss, Farseer. You missed.
You should be.
You suck. Professor, okay.
Mere trifle and amuse bush.
Whoa. Leader as well, okay. We'll save leader, yeah. I mean, I can lead decently enough. Passive Flora Beaches.
Life's short. Enjoy it.
Alright, take a pass here now. So Gezrus. The thing is, the Corp combo is so strong. Maybe it would have been better to take a long round and just get engine value to try to beat it. But the thing is, it's just too damn strong, right? That's my concern. Hammer Drive. Oh. Brute, okay. I am Brute.
He's around every corner. Be careful not to step in.
Bet my apple you'll not leave Brooklyn. Not alive at any rate.
Horson just wipes the board here, unfortunately. They don't have it. Good to know.
In this world, only two things are certain.
So next is Abandoned Girl. So thankfully this is gonna absorb something.
Most villainous.
Mommy, I miss you.
So I'm gonna play Tempering onto this, so it absorbs the 50-50. Hopefully the 50-50 doesn't screw me over.
Use this. Not sure for what.
Come on, Witchfinder. You know you want to give it to Ethne. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You must save the trees.
We'll take Tempering. I don't want to purify this. That's why. And their last card should be Savola into Cobb. This is Savola, right? Yeah, Savola Cobb. There we go.
You will not stand in the way of my master's plans. I won't let you.
Holy shit. I think we still lost. Insane amount of points in them. 15 here.
Good, but the pain's
Oh
better
my
than
god, that is insane. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna keep this in. I'm just gonna show you the power of that card. That card is insanely strong. So I think I'm gonna end this video off on giving my thoughts on the 12 new cards. I think I just want to quickly go through them. Based on having played against and with them. Let's see. There's no way to sort through them, right? So let's go with them faction by faction. So monsters first. Monsters first is Arrakis Queen. Yeah, Arrakis Queen. I think she's a fun design. A little awkward to play, but I do like the design of this card a lot. A lot of memery has been given to monsters with this introduction. You can play multiple Maddox, you can play multiple Ruhins. Obviously, the strongest combos so far, or the most obvious one at least, is double unseen higher Deathlife High Vampire. There you go. I like this card. I actually like this card a lot. I still haven't seen anybody play it with this Insectoid synergy, but the Deathwish synergy has definitely been very popular. I like this card. And the other monster card is Regis. This card is phenomenal. I think this card is super strong. The card honestly plays average for like 16 or 20 points in a vampire deck, and it is the finisher that vampires were missing. This is a fantastic card. I like the design a lot. I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, it promotes you bleeding and applying bleeding and ensuring that there's, at least one source of bleeding on the opponent's side of the board, so that Regis continues to strengthen himself. If this card existed in any other faction, it would be busted, it would be overpowered. But because bleeding itself doesn't inherently give you too much value, unless you have certain goals, I think it makes sense for Regis Reborn to be this level of strong. Because, again, 16 to 20 points is insane as a finisher, right? Okay, I love this card. I think it's a fantastic card. Anyway, next up, we have Nilfgaard, Ardal Ibdahir. I love this card. Initially, I was very skeptical, but after playing my Tactics deck, I really like this card. It's similar to a Sunset Wanderers because you draw a card. It's kind of like a Sunset, right? Like a Matahuri, I guess you could say. It synergizes well with Tactics, so you are obviously building a deck around this, and your opponent, if you're running, let's say, 8 Tactics, that means your ceiling is 8, right? And why I like this is because it allows your opponent to also kind of, okay, if my opponent is playing Ardal, I want to make sure that any of my units, I don't go too tall, or if I do go tall, I go above 8, so that I can prevent Ardal from getting value. I actually like this card a lot. I think it's a very strong card. Underrated, I think, in my opinion. And then we have Jan Calve. Where is Mr. Jan? There he is. Okay, this card, it's weird. It exists in a faction that has fantastic thinning tools. Blightmaker, Mage Assassin, Furcard, Dead Man's Tongue. These cards exist. So Jan Calve doesn't make much sense. But if you do run Jan Calve, you don't have to run those cards. If you saw my Enslaved Tactics deck, I was consistently drawing Jan because obviously his passive makes sure that you pretty much 99% of the time do draw him in your starting hand, and then he guarantees that you draw the rest of your cards in round 1. I think he's a decent card. I actually think it's hard to say though. The only reason this card is bad compared to Blightmaker is that has tempo. That plays for potentially 11 points. It also gives you multiple bodies, which while this guy's just one body on the board, and also a pretty tall unit. And with Bounty being very popular right now, all those kind of stuff, this guy, isn't the best card to run currently. I think Jan Calve honestly is below average. I don't know if he'll ever have a place in the future. I'm actually surprised he doesn't have any soldier synergy. I was expecting this guy to have soldier synergy, but I guess more run exists, right? Alright, so that's my take on Nilfgaard. Northern Realms. First up, Radovid. This guy is extremely strong with any leader that is not Uprising. The moment you put Uprising in place, this guy is OP, busted, unhealthy for the game. And I do believe that CDPR has acknowledged that they will be hotfixing King Radovid the 5th. So my guess would be that Uprising can only spawn 1 Lyrian Scytheman no matter what. I think once that hotfix hits, I think King Radovid will actually not be as good in Uprising, and he's actually going to be better in Inspired Zeal and potentially Shield Wall. I think Shield Wall is going to benefit the most from King Radovid. I just think that having potentially 2 extra charges of Shield Wall is so strong. Yeah, I think Radovid is a very, very strong gold card. I like this. I like the card. I think it's very strong. And then the other card was Henselt. On paper, sounded overpowered. I think a lot of people were like, yeah, you nerfed Raffard's Vengeance. You can't nerf it. You can't yoink it with Amphibious Assault. Well, King Henselt exists. But the thing is, right? What the hell is this? Alright. Makes sense, I guess. But anyway, I think that this card is good, but nobody has found a deck where he can fit currently right now. That's my opinion on this. I think that while the card has the potential to be very strong, there isn't a deck. So nobody's found a deck right now where he really makes sense. He pulls Raffard's Vengeance. He can pull Foltest Pride. Two very strong siege engines that you can work in. I think he fits very comfortably into a siege deck. That I think is the most obvious thing anyone would guess. But I don't know. I also is interesting thing, his engine effect, right? This second part only activates on turn start because cooldowns actually go down on turn start. This means your opponent can actually answer him pretty reliably. He plays for what? 3 with 1 armor. So your opponent needs to have some 4 damage of removal, and he goes out. He's out of the picture. So that is the reason why I think he's like a very expensive tutor, you could say. So yeah, I think Henselt is, again, his true value has not been founded. I think that's the way I would frame him. Definitely, you know, on paper he was very scary. A lot of people on Reddit especially were very concerned about this card. But so far, I haven't actually played against this card yet, and I've played a lot of games so far this season. Alright, moving on to Scoia'tael. Scoia'tael, Saskia Commander. Unfortunately, no synergy with Harmony. She is anti-Harmony. I don't like that at all. I was hoping that Harmony would get some sort of boost with this card, but unfortunately she doesn't. This card can be treated as a scenario. You play this card, you drop her on the board. She's essentially a scenario that gives you a card every 3 turns, right? Starting from deploy. The fact that she's immune makes her very scary. If you can't answer this, it's very difficult to win that said round, unless you have answers like Treason. Treason is actually pretty decent against her. You could get a lucky ping with Delirium, or you know, Reckless Flurry or something. But yeah, she's a very, very scary card. And also having an immune engine that can do this is quite difficult to like say if it's unhealthy or not. I think it's leaning towards the unhealthy side of the game, but there are a few things that she does introduce that are positive. First of all, she introduces a pretty strict deck building restriction, having 10 different primary categories. It's not difficult for Scoia'tael to get, but it does force you to obviously build your deck around her. And secondly, your mulligans become quite difficult because you want to ensure you're trying to keep as many unique tags in your hand so that the rest of the tags can be yoinked out with Saskia Commander, right? So I would say I think the effect itself is extremely strong, but my opinion of the card is middling. I'm not a huge fan of immune engines. You might say, oh, but she's 13 provisions, right? Fair enough, fair enough. But she's one of those cards that if you drop her on round 1 and you have no answers, as I said, it's almost a loss. You have to be able to keep up, and that can be quite difficult. And also she's also an inclusion into unitless decks. And while it might be fun to play unitless, it just sucks going up against them. It sucks. And the other card, of course, Milva Sharpshooter herself. I think, personally for me, I've heard multiple opinions from, you know, top streamers in Gwent like Spiro and Trinet and Plain Talk John. I think Trinet and Spiro are both very against this card. They find it very unhealthy, and Plain Talk John actually is in favor of this card. I think he suggested a provision nerf, potentially, maybe to 12 or something. I'm leaning towards Trinet and Spiro. I think that this card is leaning towards unhealthiness. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, there are ways to fight against it. True. Very true. But a card doesn't necessarily have to be nerfed just because it's overpowered. I think a card can also be nerfed if it's unfun to play against. This card makes it very difficult to play engine decks. Your board just gets wiped every turn, which is such a shitty feeling, right? It's such a shitty feeling. So it's a very frustrating card to play against. And is that good for the game? In my opinion, I don't think it is. I would like this card. I think it definitely needs a nerf, maybe starting to push it to 12 provisions. I've seen some people say make it Devotion, which I can see being an angle. It does prevent people from running Oneiromancy, Heatwave, Rock Throw, for example, and they'd have to focus more on the movement side by running Melina and Dragoons and making bombs and stuff like this, right? Devotion is a start, but I would start by pushing it to 12 provisions, see what happens. It might not affect it too much, honestly, but yeah. I'm leaning towards unhealthy, but I do like the design. I think it's a really interesting design. It's just that the reach this card gives is insane. This card can help you kill a 9 strength unit. Like, imagine, turn 1, your opponent drops, let's say, Banner Student, and they use Tactical Advantage. It goes to 9. They're thinking, okay, you want to kill this, you either have to use something like Heatwave, Invocation, or Predatory Dive. Rare instance of it. Nope, all you need to do is use Making a Bomb, a Leader Charge, and Milva pops out and kills it instantly. Making does 4, Leader Charge does 2, that's 6, Milva does 1, 7, and then 2 Death Blow, that's 9. That's really strong. Not only have you just annihilated the advantage that Blue Coin has given them, you've also just killed an engine of theirs. And now you also made it more difficult for them to respond because your board is clear. You have no units on your side of the board, and they have to play proactively. Very frustrating card to play against. Okay, second last Skellige, we have King Bran. I like the card. I think the passive effect is fantastic. I really like a card like this that supports an archetype inherently, just by existing. Really nice. I love the effect of it. How many veteran keywords are there? Veteran, right? So this guy is essentially playing... He boosts himself, by the way. So he boosts himself by essentially he's playing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. The guy's playing for 12. I liked the deploy effect is irrelevant in my opinion. I think the value from the deploy effect is very difficult to get. You're essentially playing him to buff up your other cards. Stjordal becomes a 6 in round 3. That is so strong. That is very strong. He's essentially a mini Horson Jr. at that point. Very strong card in that sense. I like Ingbrand. I think it's a very good design. Though, and he can fit into a pirate deck neatly because a lot of the pirates are also warriors. So you have these guys, you have this guy, which is pretty decent. And also this, obviously. And this being at a 7 with 2 damage ping is very good. Very good. I definitely do want to try a pirate deck in the future. I'm just waiting for Morkvarg to be the bug for Morkvarg to be fixed, where every individual ping of Morkvarg gives you armor on your units. It actually is broken because what's the card called? Terror of the Sea? Yeah, this thing gets like 20 plus armor, meaning it does 20 damage, which is insanely busted. Anyway, that's my take on Bran, and the other card is Cerys Fearless. While I like the design of this card, I think Self Wound is still in a very awkward spot. I don't think Self Wound is competitive at all. And another thing about this card is that it can be very difficult to control when she comes out, because a lot of your Self Wound cards are engines that keep ticking. So sometimes she might come out in a round you don't want her to come out in, right? I think the order effect of her is very strong, very good synergy with Self Wound. The only gripe I have about this is I feel like this effect, this card art doesn't suit this ability. I feel like Swalblood would have made much more sense. Like, just imagine this was Swalblood instead of Cerys. Wouldn't that make more sense? Swalblood is the god of, you know, this cult that loves to, you know, mutilate themselves, and I don't know, I just feel like he would have made more sense. I think Cerys Fearless and the effect doesn't... I get where they're coming from. They I think on stream they said that she's based off... The reason they chose this card art is because of the quest in Witcher 3 where you have the Heim quest. Fair enough, okay. But yeah, I think this card is awkward to play, mainly because the archetype itself is not very strong right now. I think Self Wound is not the strongest. And last but not least, Syndicate. Hemmelfart. Insanely strong, but only in one deck, and that's Fireswarm. Fireswarm is extremely happy they received Hemmelfart. He's a phenomenal card. The fact that you can resurrect Fallen Knights is so good. It allows you to push in round 1 with said Fallen Knights and Ulrich, and then, you know, your opponent's like, oh wait, they have no more Fallen Knights, so, you know, in round 3 I have a better chance. Psych! Cyrus comes out and just reses them back. Such a strong card. This guy is phenomenal. Nothing much else to say. He gives you a fire crime, he gives you profit 4. Fantastic card. Cyrus is incredibly powerful. And finally, King of Beggars. So you obviously saw in the last game just how insane this card is. This guy needs a nerf in my opinion. I think this guy needs to be pushed to 11, potentially 12. It's a boat that can spend, and that is insane to me. It also refunds all the tributes you've paid for. Now, it's not free. You need to be able to pay for said tribute, but it's not difficult. Jackpot has no problem doing this. And Sabola, King of Beggars, is basically the new Madame Louisa Sabola combo we saw back in the days. This is an insane combo that also gives you all your 9 coins back, meaning this guy comes out as 13. If you let's say you have an empty board. Let's say it's an empty board, and your opponent has 7 coins, right? No, screw it. Let's say they have 0 coins, right? They have leader, Sabola, and that's it in hand. Just these two things. They play leader. They go to 9 coins. Sabola comes on the board. They pay for the tribute. Sabola boosts himself by 2 because he himself has profit 2. So he's at 8 now. The Frightener comes out at 12, so that's 20, and then this guy comes out as 4, that's 24, and you have 9 coins in your pocket because of King of Beggars' counter ability right here. So that's 33 points. 33 points in one combo. Holy shit, that is insane. I think this card definitely needs a nerf. Potentially go down to 3 strength and go down to 11 provisions. Like, this is an insane card. Like, it's just so explosive. Very scary. Like, super scary. Like, this is, in my opinion, auto-include in every Syndicate deck right now until it's nerfed. Excuse me. I think Savola and King of Beggars is an auto-include in my opinion. I look at Fallen Rayla, like, this card is supposed to be the tribute card, but she sucks. And then you have this card here, which is just insane. So I'm hoping that, you know, there are some nerfs hit to this card soon. But I think it's a good idea to show losses as well, because it's a good way to see how a deck performs. But there we go, guys. That's going to be my quick thoughts. I think it went on a little longer than I thought. Again, there'll be timestamps in the description if you guys want to skip this, or if you don't want to listen to it, that's absolutely fine. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.